Hi guys, it's Brad from Supercar Driver Training, and today we have a big announcement for you. You've probably guessed it already from what's here in front of me on the table, but let's get started. Supercar Driver Training, after many years of working with different partners around the world, have now managed to design, create and manufacture our own carbon ceramic brakes. Now this is a massive thing because almost all supercars and hypercars these days come with carbon ceramics as standard. There's many reasons why carbon ceramics are used instead of steel, but the problem has always been that they're expensive. So people have tended, and manufacturers have tended with the cars that are under 100,000, let's say, to stick with steels, because steels, they're cheaper to manufacture, they are easier to manufacture, and they wear out, right? And manufacturers like it when you buy their parts. So when they wear out those steel brakes, that's a good thing for them. But in recent years, since the 2000s, should we say, carbon ceramics have been the go-to for all high-performance vehicles. The reasons, there are many. One, they're a lot lighter. So you've got unsprung mass on your car. The discs weigh half or a quarter of the weight of standard steel discs. The second is the durability. These discs will last, rule of thumb, the life of a car under normal driving conditions, and the pads will last anything up to 60,000 miles. Compare that to steel discs, they'll do probably a quarter of that if you're lucky. There's other big bonuses to carbon ceramics. If you're using them in a track setting, then they're going to be getting very hot. Now, carbon ceramics, they can work all the way up to 800 degrees quite happily. So until they're glowing red, they will still work efficiently. They will brake the same. You'll get the same brake, the same bite. You won't get fade. Another bonus to having carbon ceramics is they create hardly any brake dust. So again, with steel brakes, you'll often see people cleaning their wheels constantly, putting acid on there to get all of the brake dust off. And the brake dust is got lots of bad things in there. There's asbestos particles and all sorts of other things which really aren't good for you, whereas carbon ceramics create almost no brake dust. So again, a normal car driving on the road with carbon ceramics fitted, you can go up to the disc, put your hand through the wheel, obviously when the car's stationary, and put your finger on the disc, and you'll find that it is clean. There is nothing on those discs because they don't create all of that brake dust. So there's a lot less cleaning and a lot less corrosive materials being used on your cars. So there are a lot of bonuses to carbon ceramics. Now, obviously, from a racing point of view, the durability, much higher. The temperatures, much higher. They last a hell of a lot longer. So really, carbon ceramics are the way to go. But what has always stopped people until now has been the price. So I'll give you some basic rough figures to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. A Porsche GT3, a 992 Porsche GT3. If you contact Porsche today and say, hey Porsche, I have steel brakes on my Porsche right now. I'd like to upgrade it to carbon ceramics. How much will it cost me? Are you ready for this? I did this the other day. They will charge you £7,500 per rotor. They will charge you a further £1,600 per caliper. Then they'll charge you between £500 and £1,000 for each set of brake pads for the front or rear, depending on what type of pads you're using, whether it be normal street use ones, OEM, or whether you're going to a different compound for the racetrack. That's before fitting them and labor. The prices are ridiculous. Let's be straight here. Who's going to pay £30,000 to £40,000 to install a set of brakes on their car? Unless they are a really heavy track user, and then they would have got them fitted from standard. Or they just want to be able to show off that they've got carbon ceramics on their car, like Lamborghinis or Ferraris or McLarens. It doesn't make any sense, right? And those prices are astronomical. No one can pay those prices, let's be honest. And if you are going to start tracking your car and you are going to start using some brake pads, who would want to pay those prices and then be changing their brake pads, let's say once a year if you track your car once or twice a month? It's way too expensive. So what did we do? We decided to find out who actually manufactures these discs. Where are they manufactured? What's the process? How does it work? And what can be done? So we actually traced it, as most things, all the way back to China. And in China, they produce the same discs, which then get sent out to Germany and Italy, and then they get their stamp put on them, and then they get sold to the end user. And you guys end up paying 50% markup. A little bit like the current scandal in the newspapers where Italian fashion brands are getting all of the things made in China and then they're simply getting shipped across to Italy, and then they're putting a zip on and they're saying made in Italy. Not necessarily true. So we went to the manufacturer directly and said, we would like our own sets of carbon ceramic discs. Can we do a deal? And we want them to be affordable for everyone, because at Supercar Driver Training, we can be teaching someone in a McLaren today, in a Subaru tomorrow, in a Porsche the next day. Really, everyone should have these on their cars. Anyone that's got more than 500 horsepower in their car should have carbon ceramics. Because not only from a safety point of view, but from a racing point of view and a cleanliness point of view, they're just better in every way. And unsprung mass, of course, as well, because your big, heavy steel discs, they create a lot of mass. So we have managed to partner up with one of these companies in China, and now we have our own discs that you can see here in front of me. And these particular discs and brakes and calipers are all going on our track car, our Project Plaid. So these are all actually being installed tomorrow for Project Plaid. So it's going from its standard OEM steel discs and pads and brakes that come from Tesla, which are terrible. And we are getting these fitted. Now, manufacturing the discs and the hats and the calipers and the pads, this same company produces all of the fittings as well. So this is one solid piece of aluminium that has been made specifically for the Tesla. So this fits on the rear hub, and the existing steel brake system have two calipers. It has one caliper which does the handbrake and the main brake. So we're splitting it. We're going to have the handbrake up here and the main brake down here. And this has been made for us by the same company in China out of one solid piece of aluminium. So this is incredibly strong and incredibly light. So I mean, these discs are massive. The front disc we've gone with on the Plaid, they are 440 millimeters wide, and they are 4 centimeters or 40 millimeters thick. So they are the biggest possible discs we could get fitted into the Plaid. And again, it's for all of those reasons that the Plaid weighs 2,200 kilos. It is a heavy car. You have got a lot of mass to stop. So we decided, as we're going to be trying to create the fastest EV on track in the world, that we would need the best and biggest brakes. So that's why we've gone with these. We've got the 440s on the front, sorry. And on the rear, we've gone with what Tesla fit as standard, which is 410. Now, we could have bought the Tesla track pack, and Tesla sell their own carbon ceramic brakes. But if you buy them from Tesla, you get front and rear 410. So we're going with a much larger front, which will give us a lot better braking, a lot stronger braking. And because the disc is 40 millimeters across, it will take the heat that much better as well. So we're going to get much stronger, harder braking from this set of brakes that we've designed to install on the Plaid. Now, the price of the brakes from Tesla themselves was £16,000. That's from Tesla, to put the brakes on the car and install them. That does not include, I might add, these, which are the brake lines, which are steel braided, which we create with our brake kits now. It does include brake fluid, but they don't specify what. Now, we don't give you the brake fluid with our brake systems at SDT Ceramic, because you can fit and install what you like brake fluid wise. So we don't do that, but that is what Tesla were going to charge. Now, how much do you think we managed to get this whole kit built and sent over, ready to be installed for? What do you think? Tesla charged 16,000. What do you think we could get these for? Bearing in mind, these are bigger brakes with a stronger stopping power than the original Tesla ceramics. Any ideas? I'll tell you. This whole kit, including the manufacturing of the mounts, the discs, the calipers, and the pads with the braided lines, so the full kit to install on the car, was £11,000. Now, that is a considerable saving over what Tesla are selling you. And if we happen to go with the same size discs on the front and rear that Tesla are using, it would have only cost £9,000. So we're talking almost half. And that's pretty much rule of thumb, which we're finding at the moment. So you can come to us now and order carbon ceramics for any make, model, and vehicle, and we will give you an individual quote for your vehicle. And you can take, as a rule of thumb, the price for our kit will be around half of what the OEM are charging. And what we'll actually do is, if you can go and buy a full kit of carbon ceramic brakes with this quality from anywhere else, we will guarantee to match the price. Now, bearing in mind our kit includes everything. There are other companies out there For example, surface transforms. But surface transforms are cheap. No, they're not. So I'll give you the quote I gave you before. The GT3 992, we called Porsche. They wanted £34,000 for their kit before installation. So we went to Surface Transforms and said, okay, how much will you do it for? They said, oh, well, you keep the standard calipers. We don't change the calipers. And we just go into the computer software and tell it it's got ceramics, so it puts the brake booster pressure on the master cylinder up. So for their discs and pads, they wanted £17,000. Now, on that vehicle, when we did a price for the same size discs with the calipers, with new calipers, and the brake pads ready to install directly on the car, we came out at £9,000. So we have got a considerable saving over all of the other brands. Honestly, these carbon ceramics are some of the best. And I'm going to give you a quick example here. This is a carbon ceramic PCCB disc from Porsche. Now, this comes off a 911 Turbo S and 992. So if I'm not mistaken, this disc is 420. This is slightly smaller than these discs. It has a slightly different makeup to our ceramic discs. It's slightly shinier, and I'll tell you why. So what Porsche do is they have in the center of their discs iron. They're actually metal. And it's only this front fascia which has the ceramic coating on it. Whereas our discs are carbon all the way through. So they're not only lighter than those discs, even though they're not as wide, but they actually are harder and last longer, and you can use that much more of the braking friction face on the disc. Our discs have a whole lot of plus points. Again, going back to Porsche, this disc from Porsche, 992 Turbo S, 2023 this was manufactured. This disc is £7,650 before VAT. So you can almost buy half of this kit, or more than half of this whole kit, for the price of one disc from Porsche. And I can guarantee you this disc won't last as long on the track as well. So we are very happy to announce that we now have our new partners in China producing all of these discs and kits. So if you would like to get yourself some ceramic discs and brakes on your car, please get in contact. We haven't got a set standard price list out yet because we are in the beginning stages of getting these over and installed on cars. So if you email us at info@supercardrivertraining.co.uk with your vehicle's VIN, registration, size of your wheels, and what you're looking for, whether you're looking for a steel performance setup or you're looking to upgrade to the carbon ceramics. Do you want to go with the standard sizes that the manufacturer has? Or do you want to go to the maximum size for your wheels on your car to get the maximum possible braking? We can give you all the options. And as I say, we can create all of the mounts that you need out of one solid piece of aluminium as well. Very, very strong. All of this stuff is quality control tested. All of this comes with the brake pads, sensors, all of the relevant mounting materials and equipment will all come. The only slight thing is it does take between 15 and 30 days to manufacture everything and get it sent over here ready to be installed on your car. You can request standard street pads or you can request racing pads. In here for Project Plaid, we're of course installing the race pads. These are our own pads and they're created in the same factory where the pads are for pretty much every other major brand. So let's say they are very, very similar to our SC1 pads, these particular ones, and they are about half the price. And they're made in the same factory with the same people and the same products. But this is our brand, that's their brand. Anyway, make of that what you will. Also on Project Plaid, I didn't mention, we have a parking brake which is electronic. So we've got an electronic parking brake system here. All the installation bits and bobs and bolts are all there. Everything has been pre-torqued to the correct amounts, I believe, on these specific discs. These are torqued down to 17 or 19 Newton meters, and then the actual mounting brackets and all the other bits come with the full instructions for your specific vehicle on the torque settings to install them. One other thing to mention, on the PCCB disc that I showed you before, you'll notice that these are directional discs. There's usually a little right or left on them and an arrow, and that's because inside the disc they're kind of curved like this, where the airflow goes. So you can only put these on the car on one side in one direction. We decided with our discs that that was not going to be good because that means people are then stuck buying one disc or another. Whereas if you had 4 of them or 6 of them and one of them breaks for whatever reason on the track, or you have an incident or an accident, you can just get another one and put it straight on. So our discs are bidirectional, so you can put them on either side of the car, and they have inside the air outlets are going in both directions all the way around. So you can put the discs on either side of the car. They are not directional only. Of course, the pads that are installed because they have a running edge which runs in, which is slightly smoother, but the pads will be pre-installed before you buy any kits. But anyway, probably rambling on now enough about this, but this is our carbon ceramic brake kit. I hope you're as excited as I am about these, and I hope you're going to be buying some and getting them installed on your cars, because as we all know, the carbon ceramics that come on McLarens are pretty awful, and the ones that come on Ferraris are not so great. These are about 30% tougher and harder and more resistant than them, and they are also harder and tougher and more resistant than Surface Transforms. So if you come to us and you have a quote from Surface Transforms that you can prove you have got from them, we will happily match it and beat it. And that is a guarantee from me. And as a ex-racing driver and test driver for Ferrari, I am telling you, these brakes are the business. And you're going to see that in the upcoming episodes and on our world record attempts at all the GP circuits around the world. So enough from me. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this informative. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to our channel so you get updates about Project Plaid and all the other cars we're currently reviewing. There's about 15 out there that I need to get round to. And also to then see the upcoming video on the actual performance of these brakes compared to the other brakes from Tesla and other brakes from other brands. Please put your comments below if you have any information or you have any questions or you're interested in buying these discs. If you don't want to go directly through our website, you can always go through Instagram. That's at Supercar Driver Training. We've got our email address, info@supercardrivertraining.co.uk, and you've got our website, supercardrivertraining.co.uk, where you can also get in contact. So without further ado, I'm off to dinner. See you later.